Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, at Great Millstone who do rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and you Akim pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity, making your calling and election sure. And this is going to be missiles are evidently shown in the scriptures. So when you understand how the prophets received these visions and the time that they received the visions, they didn't know what a nuclear missile was. They didn't know what a silo was. All they seen was the missiles, and they wrote down their likenesses to things they had in their time period. Because in their time period, what would you consider an ICBM missile? An arrow that is shot throughout that is shot throughout the ends of the earth. And we're gonna read this, okay? And this, the reason I'm making this lesson is because conversation really struck this, at the work spot, right? On really, missiles are missiles in the scriptures, right? So this is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 3. And it was a side conversation. I was just in it. They were talking about World War III and how it's not going to happen. And really, I was just there just acting like I didn't know nothing. I was just listening. I was just hearing them out. I was like, yeah, okay. It could be that, yeah. Just using wisdom, because the scriptures say, cast not thy pearls before swine. And what are the pearls? This truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, the scriptures, the knowing that ICBM missiles are in the scriptures, but you still don't tell everybody. You keep it acting like you don't know nothing, right? The knowledge of, the chariots, what comes with the new covenant, a little bit of what the kingdom consists of, right? Knowing who the Israelites are, knowing that this, all that, right? This truth. Hey, knowing how, you're going to make it through Jacob's trouble, knowing that there's even going to be a Jacob's trouble and shit's not going to get better. That in itself, these are all pearls. You can't just be out there in the world and just letting everybody know this truth. So bro, the missiles are right here. Just read this and read. Man, the scriptures say, let not your left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Who is a left hand? Anybody that's outside of this truth. Okay, but this is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 2. I'm going to start at 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Okay. Verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And how do you know this is biblical prophecy? Because Babylon, Syria, and Asia and Egypt did not all go out with, is going to explain, fire. Verse 2, in the sense of it wiped it all off the earth. This is verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Beware your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Verse 5, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Verse 6, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or who may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? Verse 7, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? Okay, and what is this arrow that shot of a strong archer going to do? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? And you can read about this plague. If I'm not mistaken, let me just get it. I'm just keep it actually right here, so it should be. Zechariah 14. I was going to say Zephaniah. So this is Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. Yep. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Okay, everybody's gonna be going all the hell, going crazy, because once the nukes are shot, they're gonna know that's game. Okay, and this plague is gonna do a certain thing. It's gonna melt you away. You can also read that in the book of Ezekiel. Right, I will leave you there and melt you. And then they were also talking about how, man, Biden or Putin's not gonna send no missiles. None of these kings is gonna send, or none of these presidents are gonna send any missiles. That's too devastating, right? That's too much. Why would they do that? That's just gonna kill everybody, right? As they think in the world, right? They think that because they don't have an understanding of the elect and how they're gonna be delivered from this judgment. In their mind, they think, why would they do that? Everybody's just gonna die. Right, but we understand the bunkers, we understand the chariots, the chambers, and us, that glass mingled with fire. Right, we understand that. But these people in the world, they don't know. So we'll just get this. Because the Lord, let me also get this. Then let me also get this. Just to get that, right? The scriptures say, lean not unto thy own understanding. Right? And in your mind, you may think that it's right? You think that, why would they do that? It's just going to kill everybody. But we know that this is biblical prophecy, which I'm going into, and how that in reality, it's not their own mind. Our mind is not even our own mind, man. It's Yahweh Shemel that controls us. You can even read that in the book of Job, where the angels come and seal their instruction. But this is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. As you see, the king's heart. In my last lesson, I went into that word heart, and what is it? It's la'ab, the king's mind. Okay, let's get Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watches, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and he setteth up over it the bases of men. Right, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. He's in control of it all, including the angels. But this is Ezekiel 38:10, and you can really read it from the top, right? Gog and the land of Magog. And when you go to those lands, they're Japhetic lands. And if you go to who's actually inhabiting these modern lands, it's talking about Russia. Okay? Right? I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords, right? Really Putin, not, going back into that warlike mentality and not giving a fuck what the U.S. has to say about them creating more nuclear missiles, allowing them to spend more on their military. As you see, they're making hard-ass commercials and shit about joining the military and all that. So this is talking about, specifically them Russians. And let's just jump down straight to the point in verse 10. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind. I was just talking about the kings. And thou shalt think an evil thought. Verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwild villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. Talking about you Babylonians, everything is chill, everything is nice. When they shall say peace and safety, right, we're relaxing. It's going to come to mind that evil thought, right? I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, and to turn thine hand upon thee, desolate places that are now inhabited, right? Because America, Babylon the Great, is going to become a desolate place. The scriptures say, let me get this. Let's get this real quick. This is Joel 2:3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. Right, so right now things look sweet, things look cool. It's almost as if the Garden of Eden. And really, when you go to like places like Flagstaff, even Idaho and things like that, when you go to the mountains, even California, some spots, it looks, beautiful. Before them and behind them a desolate wilderness, yet and nothing shall escape them. If you read this whole chapter, it goes into the nuclear missiles as well. Right, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwild villages here in America. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. There you go. That evil thought is going to come upon Putin to shoot them nuclear missiles at that place that looks like it's chilling, right? So let's get back to 2 Ezra 16. Verse 6, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, verse 11, who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Whoo! Verse 12, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Because when you read this, there's a certain thing that these scriptures are going to do. These scriptures, Salaki, these missiles are going to do. In the book of Isaiah, this is the book of Isaiah 24 and 20, Salakia. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Right, let me go up a verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. Where can you also read that word dissolve? In the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, when it talks about the Lord dissolving the elements of the earth, right? Through what? Fire. The earth is moved exceedingly. Right, then it's going to reel to and fro like a drunkard, which is going to cause what? All these waves and everything to be shooken up. Right, cause earthquakes and all types of, just destruction. Right, whoa. Verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they began to be shot into what? Into the ends of the world. And not only is this arrow going to be shot into the ends of the world, what is this arrow going to particularly do? Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. The fire is kindled, so these arrows are going to cause a fire, and not only is that fire just going to be a fire, it's going to consume the foundations of the earth. Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. As you see, once these missiles are shot, they're going to land to their designated destination, man. And we can also get this to just go further deep into proving it. That's in the Apocrypha, man. That's in the Apocrypha. It's not a part of the Bible, okay? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's, Yep. Cool. Let's get this. Jeremiah 50:1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. And Babylon, what? Got taken over. It wasn't taken down by fire. It got taken over by a nation of people. So let's go down to it. Actually, verse 2, declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Meaning we got to go out there and tell you what is the judgment for Babylon the Great. Right? Just when you read the book of Jeremiah 28 and 8, The prophets have prophesied against many nations and great kingdoms. Same thing as here again today, right? Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces, right? Because you have all these ancient gods that are here again today, which during the time of these nuclear missiles, you're going to realize that your guys are not going to be able to deliver you. Verse 3, for out of the north, where there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. Right? They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. And we just read in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, what? A land that is now inhabited, but is desolate, but is now inhabited. Which shall make her land what? Desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Right? In those days, and in that time, thus saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, thy and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their power, which is happening right now. Okay, let me just jump down straight to the point. Verse 8, remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Same thing. Same thing. This is how you know the Apocrypha is in league with the Holy Scriptures. And you can even go into that, man. They had a Bible destruction group back in, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the 1800s or it could be the 1900s, early 1900s, where their jobs were specifically to destroy the Apocrypha. Because not only does the Apocrypha, go into detail on the nuclear missiles, it also exposes you Edomites and who you truly are, right? Verse 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage. Bang. Chaldeans, Salakia. But focus. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of my heritage. Right? You guys clapped and wagged, your tails at the daughter of Jerusalem. You guys were happy at our, taking down. Right? The siege of Jerusalem. You guys were rejoicing, man. Happy as fuck. Because who's the rulers of this modern day Babylon the Great? You Edomites. Right? Because they were glad, because they rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat, as the heifer at grass, and below as bulls, because you were blessed to have the fatness of the earth, the fatness of the earth, Esau. Okay? This is why it says that your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at her plagues. Hey, if you declaring yourself as a man that follows after the ways of America, you're gonna be astonished at her destruction, man. Verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. All these other nations, Salakia, let the weak say I'm strong, right in the book of Joel. All these nations that now have what? ICBM missiles, nuclear capability. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she had sinned against the Lord. And this is why when you read the book of Revelation, what does it say? It says to depart from her, depart from Babylon. And how do you depart from Babylon? Spiritually, man. Getting out the ways and the image of Babylon the Great. This is why this truth is so, hated. Just as, when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, he was preaching against what? The world. Right? During the time of the Roman Empire. Same thing here again today. We're preaching against the world. Right? The scriptures tell you, what woe unto you when they shall call your name good. And shall speak neatly of you. Something to that effect. Right? But, hey, just kind of going through the scriptures, we can go into a lot more. I just kind of wanted to hit the points and, kind of showing the ICBM missiles. Right? Yeah. As you can see, America, Babylon the Great, which, let me just get this just so, right? Let me just get this, so there's no confusion on that, because the way we're reading the scriptures is precept upon precept, line upon line. This is why you see, right, bend the bow and shoot the arrow in Jeremiah, as you see it also in Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. It's a puzzle, right? Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, erase it, talking about us Israelites, even to the foundation thereof. Check this. O daughter of Babylon. Wait, but this is talking about Esau, Edom. Shows you when you read that book of Jeremiah with the 50th chapter, that's talking about the rulers of modern day Babylon the Great, which are you Edomites. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So bang. Yes, America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed by nuclear ICBM missiles, as say the scriptures, right? I don't want to desire. It was edifying, and and it reaches the ears of the hopeful elect, man. With that, I want to close out.